What is up, everyone? I'm coming on here for a bit of a different video today. What I want to talk about today is League of Legends betting and why I think it is the #1 opportunity right now on PrizePicks. I every single day am finding insane lines, insanely priced value on PrizePicks. And again, I think over the long period of time, League of Legends is the #1 esport or just sport in general to bet on. And I'm going to try my best to detail almost my exact strategy of why I find these great plays, how I find these great plays, and how you could potentially do so too. So leave a like on this video for that. First of all, I do want to show you guys why you should listen to me. Why should you listen to me in the first place? That's always what you should be asking with me making claims like this, right? This is probably the best graph to look at right here. This is last May, so May 2024 to March of this year. We went up 600 units on my VIP and on this YouTube channel right here over the span of betting. A lot of those entries were League of Legends bets, were esports bets, and yeah, like I said, a big part of this was because of the League of Legends plays that I was able to take over this past year. And again, the value is still amazing there. Also, I track absolutely all of my bets. This is all of my bets over this year so far in 2025. We are up 127 units, so we're on track to get anywhere between 350 to 400 units so far this year. And yeah, it has been amazing performance, and I consistently, over a long period of bets, am able to profit using strategies and bets just as I'm about to show you. Now, I did say that that graph did stop in March. I am limited on my account, so I used what's called Picket to track my bets. I cannot use Picket anymore because this account is completely limited. If I just try to play a random entry, I'll just try to cycle through some random entries right here. I'm limited on my account to only $5 in a maximum entry. So pretty much what that means is I personally cannot make money anymore on PrizePicks. But what that means for you guys is you guys can actually tail my bets and find and just use my plays, whether it be on this YouTube channel, whether it be on the VIP, and you guys can actually profit off of my plays that I will find. Also, it also means that PrizePicks pretty much labeled my account as an at-risk account. They will say that over a long period of time, if we kept letting this guy bet on our website, he would take money from us. He would make money. He would take money from us, and we cannot let that happen. So we need to limit him to pretty much limit our losses and limit the hemorrhaging. Okay, so that is pretty much what PrizePicks is saying to me by limiting me. So let's go ahead and get into League of Legends and why I think this is such an amazing opportunity, you guys. Again, leave a like and comment on this video if you want to see more kind of content like this. So let's talk about even this first game that's going on right here. Okay, we have NS versus T1. Now, I just want to show you guys how many lines there are right now on PrizePicks. It is like this every single day. Every single day, there's probably 100 lines that are posted around noon. And the best time to find these odds are probably right when they come out around noon or 1 p.m. And again, a lot of you guys probably have, are working during that time, have children, have a lot of things going on around those times. I'm telling you guys, around that time for me, I am finding lines for you guys. Again, I work, 7, 8, 9 hours a day finding plays just like this. So if you ever want to find plays, you can always join my VIP, and I'm actually going to give you a multitude of methods to actually join my VIP completely free today. But what I do want to talk about is how I find these lines. And first and foremost, you always want to find a sportsbook to compare these lines to, okay? So if we look right here at Vital right here, his line currently on Underdog Fantasy is 10.5, okay? 10.5 on Underdog. If we look on PrizePicks, his line is 8, okay? 8 on PrizePicks. You could also look at this line here, Kangen. His line on Underdog Fantasy is 6.5. So it is 5 on PrizePicks. It is 6.5 on Underdog Fantasy. This guy's line is 8 on PrizePicks and 10.5 on Underdog Fantasy. Now, I always want to give you guys a frame of reference. Let's think about if someone's line on PrizePicks was 8 rebounds on the NBA. Let's say it's Jason Tatum or something like that. If his line is 8 rebounds on one book and then 10.5 on another book, that is an absolutely insane play. Now, I am not saying a play like this is going to hit 100% of the time. There's nothing on PrizePicks that's going to hit 100% of the time, you guys. But over the span of 1,000 bets, 500 bets, 300 bets, you're going to make money on plays like this. They will probably hit 65 to 70% of the time if you can find as good of a play like this. And once again, I need to reiterate, I'm just finding the first game that I'm looking at right here. I'm already finding insane value. Again, Vital right here. I'm going to be diving a little bit deeper into this line because I pretty much instantly found this as insane value. So first and foremost, Number one method is to compare it to Underdog Fantasy or other similar sites, okay? I will say I have a link to Underdog Fantasy down below, so I'm sure a lot of you guys have PrizePicks. If you do not have Underdog Fantasy yet, you can use my link, use my code detective, and put, I think it's $10 or more into Underdog Fantasy, and you guys will get a free month of my VIP for doing so. So that is a great method to get my VIP free, and you'll have a site like Underdog Fantasy, an account with it where you can compare lines to it like that. And I will say a pro move is actually taking a lower right here. So you could actually take Vital lower, 10.5, and then you could come onto PrizePicks and take Vital higher at 8 right here. So if he gets 8, if he gets 9, or he gets 10, you would win on both PrizePicks and on Underdog Fantasy. That is called middling. That's a little bit more of an advanced tactic, but that's something you could do. Always keep your mind open to stuff like that. Now, I do want to bring you guys to a site like Bovada, okay? If I scroll down and find the actual game, right? There's a lot of games of League of Legends going on tomorrow. If I find the actual game, it is NS Challengers versus T1 Academy. You guys can see T1 is very slightly favored to win the series. I mean, it's almost nothing, especially with these Academy and Challenger games. They are really a coin flip at these type of odds. And if I actually click into here, you guys can see it is very, very even on who's going to win these maps. What I really want to show you guys, though, is if I click on match props here, you guys can see that T1 Academy is plus 200 odds to sweep this game, okay? So the team that they're facing is plus 200 odds to have a full sweep. NS Challengers, who is not favored, is also plus 300 to have a sweep. What this is telling me, what this is telling me is that this game should be 1-1, okay? Someone like NS Challengers should win game 1, T1 Academy wins game 2, or vice versa. T1 wins game 1, NS Challengers wins game 2. Because, again, T1 Academy is plus 200 to sweep this team. Okay, so it could obviously happen, but it's not likely based on Bovada's odds. And again, Bovada is a very smart sportsbook that sets these lines every single day, and they know what they're doing, okay? It's a sportsbook that is very, very smart. They probably pour millions, if not billions of dollars setting lines like this every single day. Again, linked in the description, and you guys can also sign up for Bovada and actually get 2 months free of my VIP. So my number will be down in the description, also on the pinned comment, where you guys can just text me the word Bovada, text me the word Underdog. It's really as easy as that, and I'll get you guys signed up for these different apps. So not only will you have an account for these apps to find odds like this, shop odds like this, and find sort of like, you know, how these games should be playing out based off of sportsbooks odds. Not only that, but you can also get 1 or 2 free months of my VIP doing so. Okay, so now that we know this, we look at the odds, we see this is a very high chance of going 1-1, okay? So NS Challengers, the team that Vital is on, he should win one game and lose the other game, if that makes sense. So we can actually go to a website like this, golg.gg. I don't really have any affiliation with this app. I'll link them under in the description below because it's a great research tool. Pretty much this is just every single game that this guy has played over the last 200 games, right? I will say with a game like League of Legends, I only really take the last 10 to 15 games into account. You don't want to go longer than that because things always change with an esport like this. The game will change, the actual game. These teams can change. Things are constantly happening, right? Some teams are becoming better. Some teams are becoming worse. So it's hard to then take like 30 games into an account or 40 games into account because you're just getting a lot of noise in the background that doesn't really make sense anymore, okay? So I really only focus on the past 10 to 15 games. And if we look over the past 10 to 15 games for this guy, let's just stop right here, okay? Let's just say these are the past 15 games. You guys can see he has victory or defeat, right? He has 10 kills here, 8 kills, 3, 6, 7, 5, 4. You guys kind of get the gist, right? I'm going to go down to about down here. You guys can see in a win, he gets around, let's just call it, 4 to 10 kills, something like that. Let's make it a little bit tighter gap right there. Let's say between 5 to 7 kills in a victory. And in a defeat, he normally gets actually a respectable amount of kills. Normally maybe like 3 to 5 kills in a defeat, maybe 3 to 6. So in a victory, he probably gets like 5 to 7 kills. In a defeat, he probably gets like 3 to 6 kills. We take the lower range of that, just what I'm looking at here. We take 3 in a defeat and 5 in a victory. You add those two up is 8, okay? So based on these odds, based on what I'm seeing right now, I'm seeing that at the lowest, right? If he performs the lowest band of what he should get around maybe 3 in a defeat and 5 in a victory, and that will put him right at 8 kills. And that is the lowest what this guy is capable of doing, okay? In just one game right here, he gets 10 kills. You guys can also see right here, a game where they just played this game, okay? This was April 28th. I'm filming this on May 5th. So this was about a week ago. They played this exact same team, T1, and he gets 7 kills in game 1 and 6 kills in game 2, okay? So very solid line. He's a very similar, or he has the exact same matchup a week ago. Also, the last game he played, he gets 18. Everything is pointing me into the direction where Vital over 8 kills is amazing right there. And I think his fair value is around 9.5. Okay, so all of those things, we just went through Underdog, we just went through Bovada actual odds, and we went over his last 10 games. All of those things point to me to him going over 8 kills. Now, I want to reiterate that at no point in time did I say that it was going to be easy, that it was not going to be time consuming. Being a winning sports bettor is not easy. It is time consuming, you guys. That is why 98% of sports bettors are not winning over a long period of time. Now, I will say I have a VIP that I give out plays like this every single day, and you guys can get in free by signing up for Underdog Fantasy or Bovada that you saw in today's video.